Spider Gwen hoodie. Hello, everybody. My name is Rash. Just wanted to give you a little medicine update. Initially, I used to take Zonalda, escitalopram, etilam, and arpazole. Now I don't take arpazole because it started giving me mobility issues where there was a lot of stiffness in my body that was being noticed by my parents. So I'm only on one antipsychotic now instead of two. Take a look at my cat. श्रैश जी की कुकीज़ बन रहे हैं, हाँ नहीं तो क्या. Today I'd like to talk about accountability. I think this is an important topic to discuss in the context of BPD because of the different symptoms that are harmful for not only the patient themselves but the people around them. As you know from my first video, the symptoms of BPD include antisocial behavior, irritability, impulsivity, risk-taking behavior, self-destructing behavior, self-harm, etc. These behaviors, what can I say? There's an analogy I'd like to bring up or an example, I don't know what this classifies as. When you're in a crowded street and you accidentally step on someone's foot, you say, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." There was no malicious intent there, but the fact of the matter is, it happened. And so, accountability is needed. I have had experiences where I went into a rage episode, into a psychotic episode. I split on my loved ones. And I would be I said mean things. I did not behave properly. I was very disrespectful. And I faced the consequences as well. People left. Understandably so. This topic is actually a little difficult for me to talk about because I struggle. Full stop. So the thing is, ever since my diagnosis and ever since the medication, I have started to become more aware of these things that happen when you have BPD. For example, splitting. Back when I was not diagnosed, I split on someone I love so much. And there was not a happy ending. It's important as people with BPD to be aware that these are things that you can experience. And so I am once again going to talk about how angry I am that I got my diagnosis so late. Actually, that's it. That sums it up. Average copywriting student. Accountability. It's really important. And I think accountability comes much easier to you when you know what's going on in your head. For instance, I knew I have tendencies to self-sabotage. This was back in 2020. And I was able to recognize that behavior when it started to happen. But I did not know about splitting, about self destructive behavior, about impulsive behavior. What else is there? About irritability, impulsivity. I didn't know. I just did not know. And so there are instances in my life where I have split on people, where I have gone into rage episodes, where I've gone into psychotic episodes, and absolutely shattered very wonderful bonds. I don't know what to say, honestly. I should have scripted this video. I just got and started recording, but I thought that'll be more authentic, and I want a very authentic image of living with BPD for you all. I don't know how to cope with this. There's so much that I have lost because of my BPD. I can't seem to move forward because why would I want to when I've lost so much? You know what? Let's Google some solutions. How to stop a BPD rage episode. Listen to relaxing music. Exercise. Do some yoga or take a long walk. Find support with a loved one or a friend. Practice mindfulness. Find a distraction. That's how you stop a BPD rage episode. The thing about episodes is that once it begins, there's no way to get out of it. You just have to get through it. I know this from experience. I know this from rage episodes. I've had rage episodes. I have had these instances of splitting, and I've had a psychotic episode as well. Once you enter it, it's so difficult. And that's why sometimes I'm just like, and this is gonna be controversial, but it's like, why should I take accountability when I am a product of the abuse that I experienced as a child? If you think about it, I would not have had unstable relationships and rage episodes if, when I was 9 years old, I just had a regular childhood. I could have been so much more if that horrible man never met me. Starting to realize that this affects me a lot more than I thought it does. And so when I think about it, I'm just like, how do I take accountability? But this brings me back to the analogy that I started with. When you accidentally step on someone's foot in a crowded place, you still say sorry. Harm that is done unintentionally is still harm. It still affects people. And so, we as borderliners need to take responsibility for our actions, take responsibility for our well-being. You know, there's this one post that I saw that said, your trauma isn't your fault, but it is your responsibility. And my God, that made me grind my teeth so hard, because I was like, this is not something I want to be responsible for. As like a trauma survivor, there are so many things you have to juggle because your mind is altered forever. Forever. Shit. Oops. What's going on? What were we talking about? Shit. I've lost too much for me to not warn you about these things. My diagnosis being given to me so late has caused me so much pain. And this is why I make these videos. Because you have to know what's going on. And I hope someone is watching this and they realize that they have symptoms similar to the ones that I talk about. And I hope they go to a doctor and they get their diagnosis on time and they get the right medication. Because it was too late for me. Oops, this got too real. If you're someone who's noticing these behaviors, the ones that I listed in the beginning of this video, where is that list? Antisocial behavior, compulsive behavior, impulsivity, irritability, risk-taking behavior, self-destructing behavior, destructive behavior, self-harm. If you're noticing something like this in someone around you, someone you care about, someone you love, encourage them to go to a mental health practitioner and talk about it. For me, it's not easy to love me. And nobody needs to assure me that. I've just accepted it. I have made people feel like they have to walk on eggshells around me if they don't say the right thing, if they don't do the right thing, if they aren't there for me the way that I want them to be there for me. And so I guess I encourage you, if you notice these behaviors in someone, encourage them to go and speak to a mental health practitioner. You don't need to take it into your hands. I'm not going to be like, be responsible for someone else's pain. You have your own pain to deal with. I have way too many regrets. And I just wish I had the wisdom that I have now. Because there are so many people I've lost that I think about every day. And it hurts so much. Because I love them so much. And they're better off without me. And all I can do is grieve. I even made these BPD flashcards that I could have used in so many different points in my life. This disorder is so debilitating to live with. How do I access community care when my disorder makes me hurt my community? I don't know how to stay motivated. So, take my story. Take my life as an example of how you shouldn't live. Accountability matters. Let me leave you with some self-soothing techniques that I indulge in. One of my favorites is to just rub my hands on my arms, my biceps, putting your hand on your chest, closing your eyes, and taking deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. There's also holding your legs with your arms. You can also do this lying down. Taking a cold shower, it does something to the vagus nerve. It like resets or something. I don't fucking know, but it helps. And the vagus nerve, that gal is very important. And I'm gonna thank you, Kulfi. I'm gonna tell you why. We store pain experiences in different parts of our body. That's why we experience different somatic symptoms. And so your vagus nerve, that gal is really important. I would suggest you learn more about it, because as someone who is not good at regulation, I don't know what I'm saying. It's just important. Hope you enjoyed watching me cry. I hope there was something in this video that made sense. I just wanted to be authentic. I'm like opening my heart to you. Cool. Oh yeah, you can also regulate with a pet. It really helps. Summing up this video, accountability matters. Look into the vagus nerve and how it functions. Look into self-soothing techniques. Notice your own behaviors and the people around you, and take the right steps forward. And I'm here for you. You can comment if you have any specific questions about BPD, if you'd like to hear the perspective of someone who suffers with it. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for witnessing me in my pain. Goodbye.